I live in a basement apartment with, you know, our guitar tech, and, you know, I've got money and I'm having a great time. You know, I don't need all these things. I don't have very many things. I don't think people need very many things. I think that stuff like hanging out with your friends and having a barbecue and watching the game, it's very simple. Like, I think people overcomplicate their lives with things and noise, and they're all meaningless. Bruce Springsteen, Jackson Browne, the Rolling Stones, Jason Isbell, and ACDC.
ACDC was a huge influence on Brett when he was just like this high. He'd just be running around screaming the words to Highway to Hell and all those classic ones.
They were my first love.
Yeah. Stones are kind of just like the ongoing love of my life as far as music goes. That's something to strive towards as a band that's been together for, geez, a long time.
The Gods.
Yeah, they've been around for 50 years as a band. It's pretty impressive.
Jason Isbell, I think, has probably, you know, come into our lives more recently, and I think for me it just kind of reinvigorated my love of songwriting and I guess the art of song. Jackson Browne is just the most vulnerable songwriter, in my opinion, of what I listen to at least, and you know, it shows you that it's okay to cry and be a male. Dirty, sweaty rock and roll. Sawed-Off Shotgun. It's a song off our new album. It's the pinnacle of, you know, what we were trying to do with the album. It's got the immediacy and the rock and roll roots of the Union, but it also kind of takes the band and steps it into the 21st century. You know, has a modern sound. It's unique. Well, we wanted to step into the 21st century because our first album was very, you know, throwback rock and roll, meat and potato style rock and roll. And I wouldn't say all the songs were like that, but there was an overhanging kind of
had that
vibe, yeah, to it. You know, over the 4 years, I guess, that we toured that album, and we're writing this next album, you know, Beauties and Fools. You know, a lot can change between that time, especially I was, what, 21, 20 maybe when we released Union. Now I'm 25. You know, there's a lot of changes that happen in somebody's life during that time, and I feel like the entire time we were playing with a lot of the bands that sounded like the 1970s, and we sounded like the 1970s ourselves, and there's nothing against that kind of music. All the power to you, whatever you want to do. But I don't think that rock and roll can become relevant unless it steps into the 21st century and starts holding its own as a genre that can capture the now.
I think even as a band, if we would have continued to just go down that path and create another record like the Union, there was a definite ceiling of how far like we could expand our horizons creatively, and then a definite ceiling of how far we could grow our fan base and our business. So we kind of realized that if we want to stay relevant, we have to evolve.
And boredom as well.
Well, yeah.
Would
have been boring shit. Right, same record again.
Just constantly just charting out,
yeah,
1970s hit after hit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The shows.
Yeah,
I like the live shows. That's what kind of makes it all.
And the writing.
The writing's great too.
Of course.
Yeah.
And hanging out with your buds as well. Like last night we camped out, had a barbecue. We were out in the woods, watched the hockey game, had a little fire. You know, there's not very many professions where you just get to travel around the country with, you know, 5 or 6 of your best friends and hang out.
11 roughly.
Yeah. I think that, you know, to be able to be writing music and playing shows all over the world is, you know, a pretty good place to be, and that's what we're doing right now. But you know, I think like any other band or songwriter or anything, we want to speak from the highest platform that we can. You know, I'd like to be able to talk to as many people as possible and help people, and you know, show them who I am.
Yeah, we're competitive guys. Like I like to see things grow. So right now we're playing for, if we were to headline Cleveland, we'd probably play for 100 people. 5 years, I'd like to hope that we could play for
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000.
30.
I'd be happy with 10,000.
40, 50.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like a hugely political person, but I think that there's a lot of, you know, things that people aren't talking about nowadays. Like, I think people are obsessed with material things. I think that, you know, we're told that we have to grow up, go to school, or find a job, get married, buy a great big ring, start driving a Ford F-150, you know, get as big a house as possible, you know, raise your kids the exact same way. And I just think that there's a sickness, you know, across the entire culture of North America that makes people think they have to do things that they're told in a certain way. And a lot of it's based on, you know, consuming, you know, things that really don't mean anything at all to anybody. They're not anything that's going to provide meaning for you. You know, when you're dying, it's really not going to mean a thing. So I think that that's kind of the insight that I have as a human being. I think that might be unique as compared to a lot of other human beings, and it's something that I feel very passionate about, something I can share with the world.